Hey everybody, welcome back to the NC State Insider Podcast. I'm your host and lead beat writer, Tucker Sennett, joining you here tonight to talk NC State's debut win over Tennessee. The number nine Wolfpack beat the number eight Lady Volunteers in the Greensboro Invitational 80 to 77. Wolfpack women's basketball is back with a bang. This was a thrilling top 10 matchup. Really impressive performances from both teams here after Wes Moore said, this he didn't think this team was deserving of its ranking. He felt that their ranking was based on what they did last season and not what they've done to earn anything this season, which is somewhat true, but NC State returned some key players, as did Tennessee, and those players went head to head in this one. And it really came down to a clutch fourth quarter from a few members of the Wolfpack, particularly Zam Jones, the sophomore. She scored 9 points in the final quarter of the game, shot 2 of 5 from the field, but made all four of her free throw attempts, came up with a huge assist, full court pass to Camille Pierre to take the lead late, and then was able to make a heady play after a Caden Samuels missed three at the end of the game. Tilda Trigger rebounded the ball, kicked it out to Zam Jones instead of going up for the shot, and Jones, instead of rushing anything, just caught the ball, controlled it, backpedaled a little bit, killed maybe another second or two on the clock, and took the foul and stepped up and made both foul shots to give NC State the 3 point lead, and Tennessee could not make that the heave. So it was a really phenomenal finish for Jones, and she finished the game with 18 points on 6 of 14 from the field in 34 minutes. She had 5 assists. She was one of two members of the Wolfpack to finish with 5 assists, much better assist numbers for the team than they had in the exhibition games, but still probably not where Wes Moore wants them to be. Finished with 16 in the game on 30 made field goals. So solid, but not quite, I think, where he wants to be in terms of team basketball. Um, it was really a dominant performance by Camille Pierre, and I think a lot of that has to do with her experience playing against Tennessee as a member of the Vanderbilt squad last year. And she did exactly what she did against them last year tonight. She scored 21 points and helped her team upset the Lady Vols. She did the exact same thing with the Commodores last year, and her experience and know-how in terms of dealing with Tennessee's relentless pressure that Kim Caldwell has that team. She runs a platoon system and has that team pressuring the entire game. They make you walk the ball up. They make every inbound hard, and it was really a testament to NC State's conditioning that they were able to win this game with the way that Wes Moore handles his rotation. There were only, let's see, two, three, 6 players that played over 10 minutes. And he really leaned on the starting five for the most part. Devin Quigley was the only player that played. She just played 10 minutes, and she was the sixth man or woman, sorry. Um, and didn't score. So it was a massive undertaking for this starting five, and they met the standard that this program is set, or that this program has set. And um, Zoe Brooks, while she didn't shoot the ball super efficiently, she did the dirty work. She had to bring the ball up against this consistent, relentless pressure every time. She only turned the ball over 3 times, despite handling it probably the most on the entire team. Played 39 out of the 40 minutes, and finished with 13 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists. And it just kind of kept things calm when things were getting ugly in the second quarter for NC State. She was able to kind of get them back in the game, cut the halftime deficit to 4, and then NC State stormed out of the gate in an impressive third quarter, beat Tennessee 23 to 18 in that third quarter, behind a very impressive showing from Pierre there. She had 8 of her 21 in the third, and that's kind of when she started to take over the game. But Tilda Trieger's size played an enormous factor in this one. Her 6'6" frame was really helpful against this long Tennessee team, and she was able to dominate in the paint and also be a really effective rim runner going back and forth against this sort of unique pressure look. And so she found herself open a lot under the basket, finished with 19 points, 8 rebounds and a pair of assists and contributed significantly to NC State's 38 paint points, obviously. She did take kind of a questionable three-pointer late in the game that I didn't really understand, and I'm sure that'll be something that they'll look at on the film. And NC State has a lot to work on. This wasn't a perfect performance. The defense wasn't great. Cadence Samuels, while she hit a clutch three, struggled at times defensively, didn't have a great deficient defensive efficiency rating. Um, and it wasn't a great night overall defensively. They did hold Tennessee to 39% shooting and 27% from three-point land, but Tennessee took 33 threes. So I don't know how much you can take away from that. They also shot 57% from the free throw line, which certainly helped NC State a lot, but they outlasted them in their chaotic style, which I think was an enormous challenge. There were 11 lead changes in this game, and NC State didn't blink. The players who had been there showed that they had been there. Even Pierre, who hadn't played a game, an official game for the Wolfpack yet, she looked like she had been there. She looked like she had been in the fire, and she played an NCAA tournament game last year, so she has. Um, so I think that was a really important development for NC State. I do think there's so much to clean up. They missed a lot of layups, left a lot of points on the floor. Um, only made 5 threes in the game, which I think was somewhat a product of Samuels having a poor showing. She was so good in that at High Point exhibition and hasn't quite been the same shooting the basketball since. Made just 1 3, as I said earlier, and Quigley obviously didn't have much of an effect on the game either. But I think there are options 3-point shooting wise, and Zam Jones stepped up to the plate and made a couple threes, and and Trigger did stretch the floor and make a three, but I don't think you can rely on her consistently making those. Maybe that's something that develops over the course of the year into something a little more consistent. And given her size, she's not going to be challenged very much on those 3-point attempts, but they got to start falling a little bit more consistently for me to believe that that's a strong shot for this offense. But the layups, Pierre probably left about 6 to 8 more points on the floor with her missed layups. She also shot 3 of 5 from the free throw line, although NC State did shoot pretty well from the free throw line, 71%, not where Moore wants to be, but better. So I think that's certainly a promising development for this NC State team. But all in all, in conclusion, this is a really good win in terms of a building block. I'm sure that Moore probably could make the argument that it would have been better for his team to lose this game and lose a little bit of that confidence and not have that number next to their name. But I think this team is way more talented than I think he's led people to believe. Debbie Antonelli on the call tonight before the game said, when Westmore is sandbagging about his team, it typically means he really likes his team. And I don't know if that's completely true, but I'm sure there's definitely some gamesmanship to his preseason talk. Um, I think there's certainly some gamesmanship at play here. I think, you know, it, this team has 3 legitimate contenders to be all ACC candidates at the end of the year, maybe 4 with Trieger, Brooks, Jones, and Pierre. Those 4 are really talented basketball players and could take this team a long way. I think proving you can win a game like this where it's back and forth and it's ugly at times and then it looks great at times and you never blinked, that is a sign of a team that can do great things in a postseason game. And this game had that kind of feel, that back and forth. do or die on every possession in the fourth quarter feel. And I think that's really promising for this team. Very different from the men's debut. That was obviously a monster blowout, massive crowd, but a really interesting game. And NC State will have a chance to back it up with another top 25 matchup on Sunday. I'll be there in Charlotte at the Ally tip-off as NC State's set to take on a ranked USC team without Juju Watkins. Unfortunately, she's still out with that injury, but they've done a really good job rebuilding in the portal, and it should be another interesting challenge for Westmore and this NC State women's basketball team. As always, thanks for kicking it with me and talking Wolfpack sports here. If you want more content, go ahead and hit my social media feed at Senate Tucker on X. And of course, if you want daily episodes of the NC State Insider Podcast, go ahead and subscribe to the Sports Videos on SI YouTube channel. Listen to me yap about NC State. You can listen to our other guys yap about other schools. Do what you want. It's good content. That's all I'll say. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time.